for an opening here for a Covert Radio video. And I don't want to make this a big deal. I don't want to get all into it, but it is important enough for me to address right here in the beginning of this video because I have been getting some messages and I've gotten a couple emails about this. And, recently there was a comment made in a post that, I don't know, for lack of a better description or lack of better words, it truly was hurtful. It was hurtful. And it's also very baffling. When it was brought to my attention, because I didn't see it, somebody brought it to my attention, my immediate response was, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. And I wasn't. I'm not going to give this more attention. I'm not going to go over it or anything like that because it's literally unwarranted. It's nonsense. It's unjustified. There's no reasoning behind it at all. In my opinion, it's just a malicious attack on Covert Radio. It's also an attack on Adam Camacho. There's no reason even given by this person. There's no context of why they would say what they say. There's no justification. There's no way to justify something like that. It's an opinion, but it's unwarranted, completely unwarranted. But again, I am not surprised by this. I'm not. Since day one, and there is a reason I'm addressing this, not only because you guys have been asking me, but also, again, in this video that I'm about to do, I'm going to cover a video by somebody else. And I have freely helped build other people's channels since day one that I've been on YouTube. And for what it was worth, I've always promoted them. I've promoted people from Covert Radio. I've promoted them in comments and, community posts and in videos I've done. These are people who I have believed were team players. People who maybe shared the same vision, who I believe maybe were, on the same page. People that were making content similar to what I was involved with at the time. Mind you, and this is something to consider, some of these channels that I've promoted at 10, 12, 15, 25 subs, you'll find videos on some of them if they haven't scrubbed their own channels. Oh, thank you guys for 50 subs. I can't believe I got 50 subs. Because right now, today, in this climate, do you know how hard it is to build a channel? When everybody is trying to be content creators, I have a thing that I've been saying. I'm probably going to try to trademark it because I've not really heard anybody else say it. If everybody's talking, who's listening? And I said this years and years ago when I saw how this, how the Zionists and the communists would glorify content creators and reward them for beating the drum. And everybody, there was like this cookie cutter thing where everybody had merch. Everybody had merch. And I'm like, I said back 10 years ago, I said, if everybody has, are we all just going to buy each other's shirt? I mean, is that where this is going? Again, supporting communist China factories and workers that are, I got sunglasses, I got shirts, I got, if everybody's talking, who's listening? And I've also said this too, just because you can go live doesn't mean you should. You know what I mean? And I mean that. I mean that. There are people on the internet that are changing their lives, and I'm not saying for good, because they are on YouTube, they are on social media, they're on TikTok. I can name 5 right now. I won't, because all they have to do is shut it off. All they have to do is step step away, but they won't. But if everybody's talking, who's listening? You know, again, these are channels that had 10, 12, 15, 20. Thank you for 50, subs. Until I've mentioned them. Until I brought attention to them or promoted them or one of their videos. Now, this isn't ego. I'm the last one to promote, I made you. No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying Covert Radio is a force in a number, in metrics like that, okay? Because it's not like I'm reaching 50, 60,000 people. I'm not. I'm very specialized content on Covert Radio. It is not for everybody. However, once I am in that algorithm, those people and I become evident to each other. You see how that works? We're all walking into the same office building on the same floor in the same office. I mean, totally combined, all of the Covert Radio branded channels, I may have 5,000 subs, and that's combined. This channel, Covert Radio, Mess Hall, the Watchtower, all of my channels together probably have about 5,000. And again, not that this is an ego thing, nothing like that. But again, in our algorithm concerning specifically Owen Benjamin right now, I am one of the biggest voices in this. One of the biggest voices. I bring content nobody else is bringing. Adam Camacho is one of them. I have always promoted you guys. I've promoted everybody involved in this. Always. I've always given attention. I've always given credit where credit is due. And just off the top of my head, Hoax Wars, Milker Nation, Digital Jonestown, Liz Antoinette, Bear Patrol, I don't know, Owen Benjamin highlights. There's several. And the reason I've done this is because I look at you guys as being in the fight. We're all in this together. But not everybody is a team player. And like I said, when this was brought to my attention, I wasn't surprised. It hurt, and it still hurts, because it's like there's no reasoning for it. And there's no redaction, there's no nothing. It's just nonsense. But the reality is, when I said I'm not surprised, the reason is because I've been through this before. I've been through this exact scenario several times on several different levels. And it all revolves around media. I have had media stolen off of me. I've had music stolen off of me. I've had equipment stolen off me, software, on and on and on and on. If you're in a recording studio and you have $10,000 of equipment and somebody's watching and writing down every piece of equipment they have because they want to open a studio 10 miles away from you, what do you call that? People have been doing this to me my whole life. You understand what I'm saying? They have stolen my recipes, okay? My recipes. And they try to make their own version of me. They try to make their own version of my media, of my voice, my mind, my style, my sound, my thoughts, on and on and on. The bottom line is this, and this is all I'm saying. Real men recognize real men. Period. And there is no game that I haven't played. All of the real people out there right now listening to my voice who came here for truth, for insight, they're going to make up their own mind. around here in our algorithm who only exist because of Owen Benjamin. Their content, their views, their subscribers, all of it. It only exists because of Owen Benjamin's capability to live stream and do his live streams. So if you step back and you think about it, and you apply progressive logic, the answer is very simple. Those people that are completely reliant on Owen Benjamin will do all they can to keep Owen Benjamin around. Regardless of how much advice they've been given, how much guidance they've been given, that, you don't understand that you don't have to pick up every single crumb that he drops, the insanity that he drops on a day-to-day basis, so that there are people that will say, oh, when he said this, da-da-da-da. This is all by design. You gotta be smarter. A little bit smarter than a demon. And understand when you've been given good advice. But again, apply progressive logic, and it'll show you they're going to do all they can to keep Owen around, to keep him valid, to keep him up front. Because it's good for them. It's good for what they're doing. And with that being said, they will certainly do all that they can do to discredit, sabotage, talk shit, backstab, all of those, like Covert Radio, like Adam Camacho, all of us who are in this fight for real. Not for clicks, not for views,